All right. So I've had a couple of banging calls this morning with our C2C clients, both C2C build and C2C scale. And we were talking about how you can build trust as fast as possible in a world where everyone is just doing the least human possible things with their content. All right. They're literally just, I don't know, I see it all the time. They're finding some high performing text posts that some LinkedIn guru or someone with a bit of credibility has put out into the world. They're changing it a bit, but keeping the exact same structure, and then getting AI to write it or just copying and changing a few bits. I saw it happen to Lewis Kemp the other day. Great guy, love Lewis, beautiful, beautiful man, and he had his whole post ripped off. And we're living in a world where it's very, very easy to do that. I think the guy who stole his post, I don't know much about it, can't remember his name. He changed like two or three things, and it was just Lewis's whole post, which one I absolutely hate. But I don't think that guy's the only one that's doing it. So we had this whole brainstorm this morning about how we can create human content. And I believe the best thing that you can do is do exactly what I'm doing right now, which is just go live completely unedited, unscripted, raw, one take, lo-fi content, warts and all, stumbles, you might spill drinks, the dog might bark, whatever. Let's have a swig of water. But you're just coming on and showing all your imperfections, your personality, and you're going to talk about a topic that I hope you might be some form of an expert in. Now, what that's going to do is allow you to build a significant amount of trust in a much shorter space of time than just putting a load of friction in or going and having to copy someone else's posts because you think that they're proven formats. And I guess it might work. But I wanted to just come on and talk about some of the things that we spoke about as a collective this morning that I think you can use to pull out topics for LinkedIn Lives. So it's only going to be a short one, but a lot of our clients are going to be going live a lot in May just to tick a few boxes. And those boxes are getting people to spend time with you. So time on brand, time with your face. Because when they do that, if they like your face, your voice, your opinions, your processes, your journey, your stories, your sense of humor, then they're much more likely to want to work with you if they were close or on the fence. I mean, Kathy, one of our C2C clients, went live last week, and someone she'd never spoken to before really liked her, booked a call. Before the call, that person said, I knew I wanted to work with you the minute I heard you speak. And then she landed a 1.8K client just off a live. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen with every live, but going live ticks so many more boxes. Not only that, there is no friction. All right. The only friction is a little bit of text setup at the start. After that, you have to go. You're live. Just like I can't walk off now and, well, I probably could, but I can't walk off and just leave it or start again because I don't like the stuff that's just come out of my mouth or whatever. I've already made like a number of mistakes. I wanted to be short and concise, and we're 4 minutes in. So there's the first one. So here are the 8 things I suggested that our clients do over the course of the month, May, from now until the 31st, to get as many reps in as possible, because that's the other thing. Reps build confidence, and they also give you feedback. Feedback means you can act in a different way, a more improved way, in order to get to your goals faster. So we have a few different objectives when it comes to going live. The first one is like new eyeballs. So more attention from people who don't already know who we are. The second is to build trust and likability. And the third is to convert them, whether that's into a lead, into a call, into a paying client, whatever it may be. So I'm just going to break down the 8 things. The first is where you basically share the attention. Okay, so this is getting new eyeballs, and this will be an interview of some description or like a collab, we will say. You go live with someone else. What this is going to do is allow them to have your audience's eyeballs and yours, and you to have their audience's eyeballs. Essentially, you're almost cross-promoting. And these are very easy to set up. You just find someone. We recommended either going and finding another C2C client that they could go live with, or you go and interview or speak to an expert. And what this does is aside from create useful content for anyone that might be interested, it also builds a relationship with that person as well. So if you've ever been live or you've ever been on a podcast, you will know that if you've been invited on as a guest or you've had a guest, your relationship with that person is usually, unless you have a heated argument, it's usually in a much better place and a very strong place once you've finished the podcast or live recording. So they're the first two. The second two are more, as I mentioned, middle of funnel. And this is where you're gonna build trust. You can still build trust with interviews and going live and collaborating with people, but we want to build trust here in our methods, in the way that we do things, our ways of working. All right. So first is a Q&A. You either go to clients or where clients might ask you questions, or you go and look and pull out like 10 questions that you always get asked. All right. That is going to allow you to have shitloads of material. You can spend like 2-3 minutes on each question. And then you've got, I don't know, a 30-minute live if you did 10. But it's also going to allow you to get some of your thoughts out without being too scripted. And if the right person is watching and hears you answering a question that they have, they're automatically going to assume that you are the right person for them to work with if they're interested in solving that problem quite quickly. The other is what I call the reverse delivery method. And this is something I've been doing for a few months now. If you've been following me for a while, you probably heard me harp on about it a lot. You take one problem or one question that you get asked on a sales call or on a client call, and you go in deep on it. All right. So I'm kind of doing this now. This is something that we covered on a call this morning. I'm going in deep on these, well, not that deep, but a little bit deep on these particular aspects of how you can crack the live problem, so to speak. Now, the reason that the reverse delivery method works so well is because you're just doing something you've already just done. So it's very easy. Your energy's high. You've just hopped off a call. You've solved this problem or answered this question. The person you've helped solve or answer it for is happy, and you are still in that mode of problem solving and delivering value, which is perfect for what lives are for. The next are where I think the juice is. We suggest that all of our clients build a roadmap. Okay, that's usually like 3 to 5 phases of the entire customer journey, nice and simplified, that they take their clients through. So for us, it's offer, marketing, sales, delivery, scale. So it's 5. All right. And what we do on this particular live is just walk through that roadmap. So if you think, I liken lead magnets to, you have your offer as a pie, your lead magnet is a slice of that pie potentially, or it can just be an overview of the whole pie. I'm going to say pie anymore. But this is the overview of everything. Here's the end-to-end journey described in a very simplistic way of how I help clients. And in between those things, you can chuck in social proof. You know, I've kind of done a bit of social proof placement in this already, talking about Kathy. Okay, that's one of our clients who we are helping win more clients through content. It's worked, all right? And I've just taken one client result that's happened recently, and I've placed it in product placement or proof placement in this whole process. We've got tons of other people that win clients, but that is the most recent client of ours who's seen success by going live. So therefore, I mention it. And you can do the same. You can start chucking in client results, and you can present a screen with an already made graphic, or you could go live on something like I'm doing, like the iPad, or you could go live on, like sometimes I'll do like a whiteboard or a flip chart. You could present a sales page if you wanted to, whatever it is. But again, we're just trying to get time on camera, get reps, and ultimately strengthen our confidence and condense the time it takes for people to spend time with us, and therefore be more susceptible to buying or booking a call. While I've got you, there is a link somewhere around if you want to know more about how we help our clients with content on easy mode, particularly for 2026. And the only 4 types of content that you need to create in order to get attention, build trust, and also convert people. There is a link somewhere where you can go and grab it for free. It's like a 9-minute video. Probably, yeah, it'll be shorter than this one and slightly more polished as well, because not everything I do is lo-fi like this. The next one is almost like the slice of the whole pie. And that's where we just take one of these phases and we go in deep on the phase. So if I was to do that on offer creation, as an example, which is obviously a slice of our offer pie, I will talk about the 6 P's, the 6 things that you need to have in place in order to sell and actually enjoy selling a high converting offer. So the 6 P's are the people, the problems that they go through, the phases that we take them through as the service provider, the parts or the deliverables, the price, and then the promise that we wrap it all up in. And that's, again, something we work on with our clients. So we've got the whole pie, which is the roadmap, or we've got the phases. Now, after that, we could also do another interview. So it kind of like crosses over. There's some overlap between the first two and this, but we do an interview with a client, or we do a client case study. All right. Now, again, I could just write down, if we go with Kathy as an example, I could write down Kathy's whole journey, how we helped her build a group program, how we helped her, well, she did it herself, but she quit her job just before Christmas because it was so successful, how we're now helping her attract new audiences and build trust, all these different things. So I could either talk through that process myself, or I could invite Kathy on to do it and do it with me. And we just talk about the whole process. So the before, during, and after of working together. And obviously she's still a client now, so there isn't quite an after, but there's an after effect almost. And then the final one, excuse me, is simply to walk through your offer. So if you are selling something, or you have a promotional campaign that you're running right now, or there is some form of reason for people to act quickly, you can just talk through the offer. So again, I would break down the roadmap, but I'd also talk more around the offer and the client results and the things that people are seeing, some more of the more frequently asked questions and problems. I'm speaking to someone in the DMs at the moment, hopefully you're watching this, who wants to join C2C, but has had bad experiences with other programs and has basically been burnt before. Okay. That is going to be very, very helpful. If I was to do this offer, I could bring, like video or live, I could bring that question or that worry or that potential objection to the forefront and say, well, to be fair, I estimate like 80% of the clients that work with us have already been in other programs and not had a good experience. And I joke that, maybe we should turn it into one of our criteria for joining the program. So anyway, quick recap. We have got the interview where you go and do a collaboration with an expert, or a collab style. We've got clients like Emma and Fern who are kind of going live together alongside Kathy. So they've met inside C2C, they're forming a relationship, and they're capitalizing on both people's experience, both people's audiences, and ultimately they're going to get new eyeballs. Then we've got some more trust focused or trust building focused formats as well. So you hop on and you answer questions, or you go deep on one particular question or problem that you've solved for people. And then the next, on the right-hand side, I appreciate this is all a little bit scruffy now, but on this side, we have the other four, which are more conversion focused. They're more logical business style variations and formats that you can use in order to get people, or let people look a little bit under the hood as to what it is you sell and the outcome you help them get. So you walk through the roadmap, the end-to-end journey, the full pie, or you go deep on one of the phases, so one slice of the pie, or you do a client interview / case study, so you invite them on, or you just talk about them. And then finally, you can run through the offer as well. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a focus for going into May, as I've just been through all this with our clients. As I mentioned, I have got the free content training, so the content on easy mode that you can go and grab somewhere in the description. I don't know where it is. Usman has actually asked in the chat, which is the best product selling or services selling? I'm sorry, mate, I don't know what that means. But if you want to do more conversion style stuff, it's the thing that is outlined in red here. So you can go and grab the free training. We are opening doors very soon to C2C, so I'm super excited about that. We actually sold every single spot out the last time we opened them at the back end. Well, it's mid to back end of April. But if you're interested in that, you can pop me a DM. If not, I just thought I'd come on here and try and give some motivational knowledge away for free. Anyway, I'm going. I hope you have a great week and grab the training if you want it.